It's pretty promising how just the first episode of the season is already having such an effect on the audience. Hello, and welcome to A Dash of Salt with AJ. I'm your host, Ahsoka Jackson. Let's continue with part 2 of my reaction to Attack on Titan, Season 4, Episode 1, The Other Side of the Ocean. When it came to Galliard and Peak and Reiner and even Zeke of all people, it was so funny to actually be cheering them on. But I was cheering and cussing a little and fist pumping. I partially was just cheering for how awesome everything was and how insane a job MAPPA was doing, but I was also genuinely cheering for the characters as well. I'm used to cheering for Eldians, but not ones working on behalf of Marley, that's for sure. And thus far, I am still of the general opinion that Marley can stuff itself, and especially those plans to destroy Paradise. And it still treats its own Eldian soldiers and warriors like dirt. But those soldiers, and especially the Titans, can be darned impressive. When Galliard swooped in and saved Gabby and Falco, that character introduction was perfect, by the way. The angles and timing and everything. And then how he had Reiner's back and saved him from that point-blank shot. And then he did that freaking flip right afterwards where they were just showing off how absurdly agile and acrobatic the Jaw Titan is. Poor Reiner, by the way. He was kicking so much butt as a Titan, and you bet I was cheering for him and grinning like mad. And he took those shots to the arm and everything like a true boss. Just freaking workhorse. Or better yet, warhorse. Yet he also very much felt like an old man when he was in human form. Not only his look, but also his voice. Especially his voice. But although it surprised me, it does fit. Although the poor guy honestly seems older than Zeke at this point. You know, Mappa really overwhelmed me here, and they showed off that they can handle both the old and the new. And I've already been saying that it's like they've been flexing throughout Jujutsu Kaisen, but here I got that feeling even more. It's like they've been listening to all that skepticism and criticism that people have been directing at them, and they kicked open the door, swaggered into the room, dusted off their leather jacket, and quoted Lucy Liu's character in the movie Kill Bill. If any of you fudgers have anything else to say, now's the effing time! I love that scene, by the way. And I think they're going to do what I hoped Star Wars Episode 7 would do, but that the trilogy failed to live up to. I will say that I hadn't liked some of the rehashing there, like using the Death Star yet again, plus making it feel like the original trilogy had basically been reset. But overall, I've been forgiving of Episode 7. And I figured the point was just to prove that they did know how to capture some of the different things fans loved about the original movies. And that once they had proven themselves, then they'd be free to innovate more and put their own mark on it. Of course, as most of you probably know, that did not pan out well. Now, to be crystal freaking clear, I don't think MAPPA is or is going to be anything like Disney. Plus, it's a different situation since we're still talking about the original author of the core property, plus other people who are also Attack on Titan veterans. What I'm instead saying is that it looks like MAPPA is doing it right. Darned freaking right. Keep in mind, this isn't just about MAPPA. The manga itself takes things in these wild directions for Season 4, so this 4th season is meant to be different from the previous ones anyways. Heck, the way Season 3 ended and then the teaser trailer and the regular trailer afterwards indicated that for us. But what I feel MAPPA is showing us now is that this still has the classic Attack on Titan magic, but that they're not afraid to also embrace the changes that come with not only a new studio, but more importantly, an intentional shift from the author himself in the story. And I think they're letting us know that we're going to get the best of both worlds here. And something that is going to live up to and be a fitting end for a series that has been truly brilliant and of, surpassing excellence. It's funny because this is Chapter 91 all over again. Let me explain. When I first saw the Season 4 trailer, I really wasn't all that interested in the new characters, and I got the impression that we'd have to hang out with them for a while before getting back to the ones I adored and wanted to see. Team Paradise. Maybe the first quarter to half season, we'd probably have to wait, right? And I thought it was going to be a bit of a slog to manage my impatience in the meantime. But I decided to go ahead and read Chapter 91. But I was so surprised and impressed by it, especially Gabby, in terms of both action and storytelling, that I was like, oh my goodness, this is actually going to be awesome. We're actually going to have a fantastic time hanging out with these folks. But then when this episode came out, I was still trying to manage my expectations. And I figured it would just kind of be mid for me, especially knowing now some of the mind-blowing stuff that happens later and kind of comparing the two. And yet again, I was blown away in the here and now, well ahead of the material I thought I'd have to wait for to reach these levels of excitement. And then there was the ending sequence, which had a super important visual, similar to one used in the trailer. And right before the end, they had cameos by 2 different members of Team Paradise, which had me wiping tears from my eyes. There were multiple times I had to pause just to process what was happening and compose myself, and those were 2 of the times. The cameos, by the way, were Armin's narration, and then the guy we saw wearing the hat and walking away through the crowd at the end, when the folks were reading the newspapers. I am freaking done, guys. If this is what happens in episodes that I expected to just be, alright, I can't even process how much this show is going to delight and stun and destroy me. I'm going to need a truckload of Kleenex for both tears of joy and tears of devastation. Like I've said before, you know what series you're watching here. The powers of friendship and enthusiasm and determination actually do work some in the series, but they also get the daylights kicked out of them a lot. And honestly, I can't even let myself think too much about how I'm going to react when the star of the show finally enters the stage, because I was a freaking mess just with this episode. I was watching it remotely with my best friend, and I kept having to pause and just try to compose myself, and I was stuttering and just going silent and trying to figure out what to even say, how to say it. I'm speaking now, but Mappa had me speechless at first. And then it was a mile a minute. I couldn't type fast enough writing comments and writing my notes for this episode. So I think that about covers things for now. And can you believe in just a week we get to do this again? Holy freaking heck, guys. Friday has Jujutsu Kaisen, Sunday has Moriarty the Patriot, and Sunday also has mother freaking Attack on Titan. Although the first 2 are a good number of episodes in, and we'll probably be having their season finales in the next month or 2, assuming they'll have 12 to 13 episode seasons. But with Attack on Titan to sustain me here, the show, yeah, I'll live. I will be just fine. Other than having this show absolutely murder my emotions. Again, because that's how it rolls. Oh, and besides being excited about Eren, I cannot wait to see the rest of Team Paradise, and especially Levi. I often call him the boss because that's definitely how I view him. Eren's my bro, and a kindred spirit in certain ways, and I resonate with him on a close level, minus some of the violence and other issues. But I will still smack that kid, especially when he gets out of line and needs a good Jethro Gibbs-style cuff to the back of the head. Meanwhile, Levi's the guy I think of in terms of being a boss and mentor and really respecting him. I very much have respect for Eren, but it's a different dynamic for me, a different feel. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed today's episode. Next one should be the final part of my reaction to episode 1. I'll talk about the opening song and sequence, plus some miscellaneous notes about different things. In the meantime, I hope you've had fun. And if you're enjoying the podcast, please don't forget to subscribe for updates, and leave a like, share, or review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, social media, or whichever app you use to listen. I especially look forward to hearing your comments, theories, and questions related to Attack on Titan. Be blessed, and stay salty.